Hello, everyone. Uh, Thanks for joining. Today, we are going to present how you can achieve Canadian citizenship with your family by investing in Canada in your own business. For that matter, this presentation is specifically for people who are either business owners, small business owners, or have work experience as manager in any other business. So let's start. By the way, my name is Zia Naqvi, and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant based in Toronto, Canada. We are located at Tile Midnight Business Court, third floor, Toronto, Canada. Let me give you a basic introduction to Canada, although most of the people are very familiar with Canada as being one of the largest country in the world and most prosperous one as well. Canada has provinces and 11 territories and provinces from left to right. As you can see, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. These are all provinces and most popular provinces across Canada. As I said, it's one of the largest countries in the world. Not only that, but it stands at the top from a different perspective as well, like from a Human Development Index perspective. Canada always ranks within top 5 or top 10, top 5 most of the time. The benefits of Canadian citizenships are that it's the top country in the world. Its passport is top rated. You can travel to many countries without any visa, and even if there is a visa requirement, it's much more easier to get visa. So the whole world is available to you to travel. It has a free healthcare, meaning that you don't have to pay a single penny if you are hospitalized or have any serious issues. Hospital doctor visits or medical tests are also free. It has a free education system. School education is mandatory until in the high school, grade 12, and is free with top class schools. It has funded university education, meaning that your child would be able to go to any university which offers admission to him or her, and the government will provide easy non-interest loans to fund the university education of your child. It has welfare benefits as well, and as I mentioned before, highest human development index. So making Canada your home has a great investment on return. Now I'll give you a brief description of what Canadian visa categories are. So in a broader sense, there are two ways that you can come to Canada, or Canada offers the visa in two different categories. One is the permanent residence. Permanent residence is when you are kind of migrating to Canada, coming here permanently. And the other category is the temporary category, where your intent to come to Canada is temporary, that you intend to go back. The most popular of those temporary residence visa types are students, worker, or visitors. Whereas in the permanent residency category, there are three major categories. One is the economic category, one is the family. If a Canadian wants to bring his family, his spouse, dependent children, parents, or grandparents to Canada, that is family class, and the other one is humanitarian, which is refugee class. Most of our talk today is economic category. Within the economic category, there are two major categories. One is the skilled or semi-skilled professionals, this category here, and the other one is active investor investment category. The second one would be called investment category, and within the investment category there are two. One is passive investor, and which where you invest money but you don't participate in any business activity for that money. You give that loan to the government and government returns you after 5 years, which is passive investment. Only one province provide that, which is Quebec. But our topic today is active investment, business investment or a startup, which is basically this category highlighted in yellow. Just 1 second, I have to remove this. Yep. Okay. So if you are falling into the investor category, most likely all the other categories are not for you, and in your career pathway, that is your last opportunity to bring your family to Canada. Because at the entrepreneur level, the age and the investment and the net worth that you have gained makes you qualify for the entrepreneur category, but at that point, most of the people are not eligible for any other category. So in different ways, it's true to say that it's your last opportunity or your last chance to come to Canada with your family as an immigrant. Now, I'll give you a brief description of each program, how the program is developed, and what happens that immigration, Canada government at different levels define an immigration program based on their needs, what type of persons they want to invite under that program. So each program has a unique owner, whether that is a provincial government or a the federal government. Each program has a name and it has its own eligibility criteria like age, education, investment amount, experience. All those things are eligibility criteria, and each program would have that criteria. And each program would have its own process and procedures, which will be well defined. And each program would have its own outcome. So the advice is that always identify and understand the program you are intending to apply. So you know what the eligibility criteria is, what is the process and procedure, and what would be the outcome. What will you get at the end? What would you get at the end? That is very important. This is appropriate time to discuss few of the misconceptions that are going around the world. That if you can come on a visit visa, somehow you would be able to convert your temporary visit visa is always temporary. to a permanent residency. That does not happen. That is not an automatic process. And there is no way that automatically your visit visa will turn into a permanent residence and you would be able to settle your family permanently as a citizen of Canada. That is not possible. So there are ways, but most of those ways are for young people who come as a student, gain work experience, and then re-qualify for permanent residence in Canada based on their Canadian experience. So there are ways, but those ways are very much well defined. So when you once you leave your home on into Canada, you should know that what would be your pathway from a temporary resident to a permanent residence. So I have a lot of people talking to me, and what they are saying, oh, there would be something, some magic would happen, and their temporary visa will convert into a permanent residence. That does not happen. So be very, very careful and don't get into this misconception. Another thing that is important to talk about is the fraud. The Canadian, it used to be any person who wants to become, who wants to do a Canadian immigration as a business can start that, could start that, but not anymore. The Canadian government has legislated a College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultant of Canada, CICC. This body regulates and provides a code of conduct for all the Canadian immigration consultants, and the consultants need to follow those codes, and there are stringent controls. So this body is created to protect you. So you are protected if you work with a authorized Canadian immigration consultant. If you go for an unauthorized person, you are taking a big risk. So be aware of that. So always you need to confirm the person that you are, the consultant that you are working with is RCIC, a member in good standing with the College of Immigration Consultant, and always ask for the target immigration program. What immigration program? As said before, what are the eligibility criteria? What is the program? Is the process, and what would be the outcome? And if someone is saying the success is guaranteed, that's a no. We are, by the code of conduct, not allowed to say that, because success guarantee is not in our hand. This is basically the government's job, the government, Canada Immigration Department's job to approve or not approve your file. What we do is to professionally guide you through, prepare your application to make sure that is successful for sure. But we cannot preempt the government's or the judge's decisions on your file. So hope you understand that. But normally in our culture, people say, "Oh, don't worry, it's a guarantee." No, that's illegal to say. Now we'll move towards the immigration programs that specifically is our topic today. Um, there are two immigration programs that we can talk about today. One is the federal startup program. Federal means it's a federal level of government that has devised this program and who manages this program. In this program, if you are an entrepreneur with a unique idea or unique technology or process or product, meaning that you do things differently than any other business, and you can acquire support from an incubator or angel investor, you can directly apply for a PR. So this is a very good program, but the eligibility requirement is a unique idea. So it's not for everyone. If you are interested in this program, we would not talk about this program in detail, but you are free to contact us if you are interested in this program, and we'll guide you through and answer all of your questions. Now, in a very brief and high level way, the immigration programs, the provincial entrepreneur programs, this is a flow chart of the entrepreneur programs. Most of them are the provincial, most, not even most, all of them are provincials, meaning different provinces have their own entrepreneur programs. But this is a general overview of the process. So as I mentioned before, first is the eligibility criteria. So if you are, so we have to make sure that you are eligible for entrepreneur program for a particular province eligibility criteria. We register you with the province to score you. Once the provinces approve you intent for your approve your intent to apply, and you meet the certain criteria and certain scoring, then you are invited and your application, you prepare your application and you are in. Once your application is in, your application is assessed and approved. And once your application is approved, this is basically everything that we would submit on your behalf as an application. There are many, many parts. One business plan is one of them. We'll talk about that later in one slide shortly. Once your application assessed and approved, you come to Canada with your family on work permit. So you have a business plan that you need to execute, the business plan that you need to implement, and you come with your family to execute that business plan. This is actually your migration. This is the one time you are coming to Canada, actually permanently, but your in hand is a work permit or business visa that you would use to settle your family in Canada. And after settling down, you would implement your business plan in Canada. Once your business plan is implemented, you will be nominated for permanent residency, and then you will achieve your permanent residence or later the citizenship of Canada for with your family, which is your ultimate goal. Now, as I mentioned, what are the eligibility criteria? So the basic primary criteria for the eligibility for provincial entrepreneur programs is minimum investment of $100,000. Best is if you have $200,000 to invest. So remember, you are not giving that money to anyone. You are going to invest that money, your own money, in your own business with your own hands after you arrive in Canada with your family and settle down. So this is the investment amount that you will promise through your business plan to the Government of Canada, and the Government of Canada in return promise you the permanent residency and citizenship of Canada. if you make that investment. So $100,000 is the minimum investment amount. If you have $200,000, it's even better, because if you can invest $200,000, many other provinces, other programs open up to you. As I mentioned, that you are not giving this money to anyone, you are investing it with your own hands after you come to Canada. So the program wants to make sure that you have this money, or you can arrange. You don't have to have this money in cash, but you can arrange that money by selling your property, or liquefying your assets in any way possible. But they want to make sure before you come to Canada that you can do that. And how do they ensure that? They make sure that you have a net worth of at least 300,000, meaning that you, your wife, your children, your family, the family that is migrating to Canada, combined has a net assets of $300,000. That's how they make sure that when the time comes for the investment, you will be able to arrange 100,000. Makes sense? Because $300,000 is your net worth, and if your net worth is $300,000, you would be able to easily manage to liquefy $100,000 to bring to Canada, or not even bring, you can bring it after you come to Canada and invest in your business. So for the program that has the minimum investment of $100,000, the net worth is $300,000. For the program that has the investment of $200,000, has a net worth of $600,000. So if you fall into this category, minimum this category, you can apply for entrepreneur program. If you have a net worth of less than this, or you can not invest $100,000, this program is not for you. The third major criteria, or the eligibility criteria, is experience of a minimum of 3 years as a manager or business owner. So it makes sense that you need to have some experience to start your own business. There are secondary criteria. Some of the provinces require that, some of them don't. But normally, even if it is required, the threshold is very low, like very low level of score is required. So English, education, age, and the spouse qualification, these are optional criterias. Some of them need them, some of them don't. And even if it's needed, as I mentioned, it's much more relaxed. So one of the important element of your business entrepreneur application is the business plan. So the obvious question is that what business would you do? Your success depends on the business you would do, and the success of the business, your immigration or your application depends on the success of the business. So they want to make sure that you would be able to establish a successful business. And by the way, you can establish a new business, you can purchase an existing business, or you can have a partnership in an existing business. All those three are possibilities, but all three have different rules attached to that. So once we discuss your case and your business plan, we have to make sure that it's all in compliance with business rules. So the business plan would be a comprehensive document which would actually have product and like what product or services you are selling, what is the competition in the area of your business, how would you overcome or compete with the competition, how you are better, or if someone is better in one aspect, how would you compete with that business, what is your experience and background. Okay, product and services, obviously what is the target market, competition, and product and services basically handle that as well. What is the investment budget? Minimum $100,000, as I mentioned. How would you invest that? Is step by step would be explained in here. What is the which business you are going in? What is the industry standards? And what are the local priorities? Where you establish your business? Definitely, there would be some risks, and how would you mitigate with them? That would be addressed. And overall, your business needs to be feasible, viable, and sustainable. If your business is not feasible, obviously you are not going to get the visa. You are not. They don't want people to come for unsuccessful businesses. So they want to make sure that the business is feasible, viable, and sustainable. And for that matter, there are at least 2 years of financial forecast, your balance sheet, income statement, and your financial business pro forma financial statements forecast for next 2 years will be included in their business plan. So it has to be a very solid business plan for you to get the visa. Now, who we are and how do we help you? Canada Immigration Services is our name. We have been incorporated in Canada since May of 1998, which means that is our 26 years in this business. And we are fully licensed by the Government of Canada to provide advice on immigration matters, registered with the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants of Canada. As I mentioned before, authorized advisor to US. We also do USA EB5, and we are also authorized for the global investment immigration programs for many European and South American countries, which provides a short process for their passports. And we are authorized to represent all types of visa to Canada. So why us? Our client success is our passion, and that's why we only accept clients who we believe qualify. So we do not sign you up unless we see the whole 9 yards of your potential application and assess you thoroughly. So we do that before we sign up, and we charge any money to you. Not only that, once we assess you and your family situation as a whole, and advise you with the best of the best advice. And we may even advise you that investment program is not good for you and you have another opportunity, or you don't have any opportunity. So we are not eager to sign you up or charge you money unless we see a definite program identified for you, one program or even more if you are lucky. And we discuss all the steps involved and clarify all your questions. After that, we sign you up. And experience wise, obtaining immigration on business is a very complex process. It requires business feasibility and planning, as I mentioned in the business plan, project management, investment and financial risk management, immigration settlement planning, Canadian provincial and territorial economic priority assessment, and immigration law, obviously. So we have a proven track record of 26 years in North America to ensure your success. So you are in safe hands with us. So what we offer now that for your personal assessment, come to us. We'll discuss thoroughly you, your professional career, your business, your family and family situation, your children, scope, the future scope of your children, their ages, obviously, and then devise a plan for you. And this is, we offer all this free of charge. So you can contact me. I'm the director and senior counsel for business immigration specifically. And this is my direct WhatsApp number. You just leave a message and I'll get back to you with the appointment and we'll discuss thoroughly. Alternately, you can email me as well with my email address. So don't hesitate. Don't do your own assessment. Don't assume things. Have a thorough, candid, and open discussion with me free of charge, and I'll advise you accordingly. And so please note down this number. This is my direct WhatsApp number. You can contact me anytime. So for if there is any question, you can leave a message on WhatsApp. That's the best way to reach out to us. Although there is a website as well, you can check on that. Okay. So I hope that you have enjoyed the presentation today. And for all your questions, I am available on WhatsApp. Thank you very much and have a lovely rest of the day.